The Bible said they had an understanding of the times. So what did that mean? Understanding speaks of wisdom. And the only source of true wisdom is the Word of God. Which means the church must be led not by what the denomination says, but what God says. I don't have time to say one. Wisdom that comes from knowing the will of God. And I wrote this down. So therefore there should be no doubt of what we are to believe and what we are to do on election day. As a Christian, we are pro-life, pro-biblical marriage, pro-Israel, pro-capitalism, pro-holiness, pro-righteousness. And our job, the next verse said, to turn the kingdom of Saul to David according to the Word of God. Fools have had this nation long enough. Now let me close with this. When Israel did right, now listen to what happened. Verse 40 tells us 3 things happened. That when Israel got in the will of God, first the Bible said that there was fellowship. Meaning there was one, fellowship with the Lord and fellowship with like believers. Secondly, the Bible said there was plenty. Meaning when we are in the will of God, He supplies our needs. And then it said there was joy. The joy of the Lord always follows fellowship and plenty. We are a divided nation. We know that soon and very soon the trump of God is going to sound. But until then, we must occupy. We must do the work of God. And this is not an endorsement of a man, because there's plenty about that man that I don't like. But it is an endorsement of a platform that stands for Judeo-Christian ethics. And as a believer, I want to live in a nation whose leaders are more closely aligned, even though they're not believers themselves, but they're more closely aligned with the Word of God than those who have no concern and do everything in their power to lead this nation away from the Word of God. You have a responsibility as I close. One of the greatest rights and freedoms we have as American citizens is the privilege to vote, to have a say-so in our government. Every one of you should seek the Lord earnestly as to what He would have you to do on November the 5th. And if you're not registered to vote, shame on you. You are defying the Word of God. Oh, how I am not. Yes, you are. Government is of God. He invented it. And when He told the disciples, render therefore the things of Caesar to Caesar, and to God the things that are of God, He told those disciples, you have a responsibility in the government of even though that government was opposed to Him. So, register, go vote. Who wants to be my bodyguard until November